Hello everyone, my name is Shubham Jain. I am the student of IMSPG TGP 1921. Today I am going to speak about creating employment opportunities in manufacturing sector. Manufacturing has emerged as one of the high-growing sector in India. Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, has launched the Make in India program to place India on the world map as a manufacturing hub and give the global recognition to the Indian economy. India is expected to become the fifth largest manufacturing country in the world by the end of the year 2020. Government aims to achieve 25% GDP share and 100 million new jobs in the sector by 2022. The gross value added (GVA) at a basic current price from the manufacturing sector in India grew at a CAGR of 4.29% during financial year 12 and financial year 19. As per annual income published by the Government of India, the sector's gross value added on the basic price based at a current price is estimated US dollar of 403.47 billion in financial year 19 PE. Quarterly GVA at a basic price for Q1 1920 stood at rupees 697.82 crores. Under Make in India initiative, the Government of India aims to achieve the increase the share of manufacturing sector of gross domestic product to 25% by 2022 from 16% and to create 100 million new jobs by 2022. Business conditions in India manufacturing sector continue to remain positive. The manufacturing component of the IIP stood at 130.1 during April-October 2019 and grew 0.5% on year. India's overall export is in April-November 1920 are estimated to US 353.96 billion. The ways in which employment can be boosted in the manufacturing sector in India are encourage growth in labor intensive industries. Wood paper products and textile industries tend to be more labor intensive and require a large workforce, mostly unskilled, with no specialization required. Then focus on MSMEs. MSMEs are the critical for the country and economics and social development. They significantly constitute to this GDP, manufacturing output, export, and employment. In India, MSMEs account for 8% of GDP, 45% of manufacturing output, and 40% of exports. Also, the labor capital ratio is much bigger in MSMEs than larger industries. Then emphasize labor productivity. Indian companies have made major change in improving labor productivity in recent years. Over the last decade, the country labor productivity has increased significantly by but has been lower compared to China. Although India has lower wages rate than China, but productivity adjust wage rate are equally in both the countries. India need to make substantial efforts to close this productivity gap and remain competitive on the global level by focusing on lean manufacturing techniques and R&D. Thank you.